Does it ever seem to you that it can be expensive trying to get vegetables growing at your farm or homestead? We have a couple of tips here that I hope will help you to turn what somebody else calls trash into your treasure and to save you some money so that you can get food going right now.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Hideaway Homestead. Today we're starting a new project. We're going to actually try to start growing some herbs. We've talked about doing this for quite a while now and we just never have done it. We got a whole bunch of different types of herb seeds recently, and so I'm going to put them in some little small pots and see if we can get those started and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to try to pot these up on the back of the truck here. I got it sitting on the tailgate. I got some tags right there that we're going to put in there so we can keep up with what we've got planted in these pots. These are just little small 2x2 pots that we use, and I'm going to put some of the seeds in these things for the herbs, and then we'll let them grow hopefully, and when they get to a big enough size, then we will probably transfer them to the ground, maybe even in the high tunnel or somewhere like that. I'm not sure exactly where they're going yet. Carol also wants to put some of them in some bigger pots and maybe use them for decoration purposes around the red barn and some other places. So anyways, well, these are the ones that I got potted up earlier, the herbs. You can see there's different ones here. I've got some mallow and some bergamot, hyssop, some yarrow. Anyway, some different things. Got 2 trays of them. I've got 2 rows of each variety. And the thought is to get them growing and transplant them into either a bigger pot or put them into the ground directly. We'll see what happens. So those are ready to go. I also have another tray here, and these are actually pigeon peas, and I've got them in the back of the golf cart. We're going to take them down to the high tunnel probably and put them in there and get them watered and have everybody growing pretty soon, hopefully. Anyway, so this is what's going on today. This is just a little bit of what I've gotten done today, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully these things will grow. We may consider even selling some of these in the spring or somewhere when they get big enough. We're thinking about maybe offering some for sale. All right, today I'm in the high tunnel, and today I am actually cutting up potatoes to plant them. We have lots of potatoes at our house right now, and several of these started to grow eyes on them, as you can see here. See if I can get that close enough you can see it. Yeah. So I'm going to cut them and let them dry out. What I do is I cut them, and the cut side of these, I'll leave them out here for a few days and let that part dry out so that it seals the moisture of the potato in, and then you can go back and plant them in the ground. So pretty much all I'm doing is I'm just finding the ones that have these eyes on them, and then I just cut it in half and take the half that has the eye on it and put it over there. This one may end up getting some on it later, and here's several of them over here you can see. So what I'm going to do is leave these guys laying here for a couple days and see if they start to grow eyes on them too. If they do, then we can use them also. And so we've got some more potatoes that are starting to grow. And so I'm going to show you what we do with these things to replant them. These pieces right here, you can see they've already been cut. These were cut off of potatoes that started to grow in the bag that we got from the store. So whenever we have potatoes that have a whole bunch of different eyes on them, like this one does, you can see it's got several on it, and they're all around on the other side as well. So what I can do is I can take this potato and I can make a cut right here crossways, and then I can cut it again this way, and I can probably get 3 or maybe even 4 cuts out of this thing that we can replant. So what I do is I check and make sure that where I'm planning to make my cut, there's not something on the other side, and it doesn't look like there is for the cut I'm planning to do. So what I'll do is I'll take the knife, put it right here, cut that thing in half. Okay, now I've got two pieces, but I can turn this over and I can make another cut right here, like that. Now I've got three. Keep those. And this one here, it looks like it has a couple of them on there too. So what I could do is I can make a cut right here, like that. And now I've got 4 pieces out of this that I can plant. This is usually a pretty economical way to grow potatoes, and we've done quite well with them, growing them this way. So I'm going to continue to cut these up and see how many of these we can get. We're going to get several of these out of here, I know. These are the ones I'm going to be working with. You can see there's several of them. This is like almost a whole bag of potatoes that went to seed, I guess you could say, started growing eyes on them. So I'm going to eventually cut all of these up and let them dry on the cut side, and then we'll have lots of red potatoes that we can put in the ground and grow. We've been looking at getting some herbs and stuff to plant at the farm. I've been pricing them at the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that. And these plants are almost $6 for a pot of these, a small pot. We found these at Walmart. We've seen them in Walmart for several years now. Just about every time we go in there, they've got these things over in the produce section to buy, but we've never really paid that much attention to them. Well, since we've discovered that they are so expensive in the big box stores, we found these at Walmart, and I think they were only like $2.98 each. And we got a mint, I think it's a peppermint. This one here in the middle is a basil, and this one over here is rosemary. So what I'm going to do is put these guys into a bigger pot, see if we can get them going. So if you're looking for some herbs and stuff to cook with and don't want to pay a fortune for them, check out Walmart. They've got them. All right, so I got these 3 guys into bigger pots. I put them in a 1-gallon pot. This is the basil, the mint, and the rosemary. Put them in some fresh dirt, tagged them so we know what the date was that we potted them up, and put them in pots. And so I'm going to get these over here, get them watered, and see if they grow. So if you're looking for herbs, check out Walmart. They've got some.
I saw a man on YouTube last night who had a good idea for using solo cups to have little wicking in them so that you could use them for seed starting and plant starting. We have several things that we want to plant today, but I thought I would try his method since we have old solo cups that we've used in the past for seeding, and so I'm going to try this method. The first thing he suggested is that you get your solo cups or plastic cups. These are probably nowhere near the Solo brand. Came from some kind of a discount store, I'm sure. But anyway, we're going to take these and put a pebble or some, in our case it's going to be a pebble in the bottom. Then we will stack on top of them. We'll fill them with water, and then we will put on top of them a solo cup with holes in the bottom that we can use to put our seeding mix, potting mix in, and our seeds, or in this case it's going to be some seeds that already tried to start to grow on us. So we had gathered up some little small pebbles from our yard. We think that the previous owners must have had like a fancy garden in that area or something like that, and now all that's left are the little pebbles from the river rock stuff that they bought. So we're happy to not have to buy anything. We can just use what was already here. And I think 1 or 2 of these little pebbles will be enough for each of these cups. Hopefully, I got something in every cup. Looks like that one's missing one. Just for that, I'll give him 2. The next step in the process, we added water to these cups, the new cups, and then we set in an older cup with holes in it, and we're adding dirt to that, and it wicks up the water into this dirt. Some of these that I did a few minutes ago, this soil on the top is already wet. You can see it's shiny. Obviously I had way too much water in there, but yeah, this is working very well. I think this will be good for our plants so that they are watered from underneath, and long term we don't have to babysit them quite so often because they will have water that they can suck up during the dry times. So we'll get all these ready, and Kevin will explain to you what we're planting today and why.
Okay, these are pigeon peas that we picked, I don't know, about a week or so ago, Carol? A week or 2 maybe? It's been a while. And we didn't get to them in time to shell them so that we could eat them. And we just sort of left them in this little red pot here. And Carol will pull some of them out and show them to you. This is what happened to them. They started to sprout on their own.
They must have had just enough moisture in that pot. Oh my, look at this one. It cracked itself open even.
Yeah, you can see that there it is. They pop open the pod and start to grow. Look at that one. That one's got 2 in it. But these are really starting to grow. There's so many of these things in here, we don't even know how many there are. But yeah, I was trying to shell some of them the other day at home, and that's when I discovered that there's actually more of them that's growing than there are that we could actually shell and eat. So we probably will end up with a whole bunch of pigeon peas.
So we've got these little sprouted seeds in these cups, just filling them up with a little bit of dirt. Some of them are tall enough that they're still showing out of the dirt, like that one and this one, but some of them were pretty short, so they'll have to pop their way through the little bit of dirt here. But how many do we have in here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's pretty good. 15 pigeon pea plants. And we just love these because they're so easy for us in our environment, and they provide food for us and for the soil, so it's a good thing. We trimmed the purple yam plant that was given to us by a sweet Filipino lady, and then we also trimmed our Florida cranberry, our red Florida cranberries. This plant has been living all the way here till January, so we're putting some cuttings into water. It roots very quickly, usually just by putting it in dirt, but we'll put it in water for just a couple of days, let it get started with roots, and we will have some of these propagated so that we can use or sell them. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some ideas about ways that you could get some food for very little money and get a head start on your garden for this year. Until next time, thank you for watching Hideaway Homestead.